if you're saying that it was absolutely disgraceful that the messaging was that everyone was affected the same, yet in Downing Street they behaved differently, doesn't that make it even more a source of anger for the British public?
I guess it does. But I think that was noted at the time, that clearly the 8,000 people who worked in the Cabinet Office or the hundreds of people who worked in Downing Street
parties were quite small. Were
not particularly alive to the risks that we were being told about from the podium of doom, the lectern and podia of doom, day after day.
So would you take that to your brother, to Boris Johnson, and say, what were you doing? Like, there were so many people who felt absolutely locked into their... To an environment and a place that they had never asked for, and he knew, or we understand, that he was at parties.
Yeah, no, I did have conversations. I mean, I did between lockdowns when he got married, and I think you were allowed to have 30 people or something outside. And I remember having a very heated conversation with him actually on that wedding day about lockdown, and I said, why didn't you do focus protection? Why? And he said he had actually looked into it because of multi-generational households. You couldn't have protected the old and the vulnerable if you'd had a Great Barrington style declaration rather than a total lockdown, which is what we had. Of course, the Great Barrington, for those who've forgotten, basically said, you can make it much more elective. The bits of society that need to shield can shield, the old and the vulnerable can be protected by the state, but everyone else can get on, and we can protect the economy and we can protect everyone's mental health like that. But he got very cross. I think his mood did change after he got COVID and was extremely ill. And then I thought he got the fear, and I thought that he then got behind the kind of full lockdown narrative.
The Newsagents. This is a Global Player original podcast.